And in this podcast, we're going to be talking about Aquatech. That's the trade show that's associated with RAI Amsterdam, and WQA and Aquatech have been partners for a long time. We're pleased to have Annette Bos, Director of Aquatech Global for RAI Amsterdam, and also Martijn de Weerd, who is the Exhibition Director at Aquatech Amsterdam, and basically, I guess, pretty much runs the show. So, Annette and Martijn, great to have you both on the program. Thank you so much, Annette, for joining us.
Oh, delighted to be here. I've been working with the WQA, I think, since my start at RAI almost 10 years ago. So really nice that we can be in your show.
And Martijn as well. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us, Wes. Very nice to be part of the WQA podcast. I've been starting with Aquatech since April this year, so it's quite new for me, the water world. Not exhibition management, but water is a new topic, and I'm very interested in building Aquatech and be part of the team.
Excellent. Well, Annette, let's start with a little bit about Aquatech. I just briefly mentioned the fact that RAI Amsterdam has Aquatech as one of its major shows. And if you could just give us an overview, that would be splendid.
Yeah. Aquatech has been around since 1968, so it's a very old exhibition brand. And over the year, we have been building it towards a global platform. So now there is not only Amsterdam anymore, but we have Aquatech China, Aquatech Mexico, which are both yearly shows. And then we have our flagship show, Aquatech Amsterdam, which is every 2 years, and which has visitors of over 148 countries. So it's our international flagship show. And we have an online community with news and views on the industry. And there we receive about 1 million views a year for our sharing our news, our articles, and the information on the industry. So we have been growing towards a global community very fast the last couple of years.
Yeah, and that growth has been taking place even though we went through the pandemic.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if you could tell us how things have been going since then, and what lessons perhaps you've even learned.
I think to begin with your last part of the question, I think the biggest lesson I think everyone learned during the pandemic is that we cannot survive without face-to-face contact. There has been so many conversations I had with exhibitors and visitors that it's essential for innovation to meet each other, to inspire each other, to feel, to see, to touch products, to really understand what you can do for innovation. That's what we learned. But we also learned that there is a need for information. A lot of information that we shared online has been viewed and reviewed many times. So we were able to grow our online community very steady during the pandemic. However, all the online matchmaking conferences, they were doing well at start, but later it became more difficult. So I think the biggest lesson was that people need to do business with people, and they need trust, they need to see eye to eye to really start innovation.
And Martijn, I know you said that you haven't really been with Aquatech for too many months yet, but what's your own experience from the other exhibitions you were involved with?
Well, the pandemic shut down my exhibition management job in 2019, where I was working at the moment right then. So I was personally affected by that. And I'm happy to be back in business at Aquatech. So that's one of the impacts I understand. And the other one is, like Annette also told, people do business with people. and they want to meet and look each other in the eye and talk about their businesses and talk about their best practices and learn from each other. And that's the best thing to do with live communications. So I see that is one of the things that we put up together in the exhibition industry to get people all over the world back together again.
Yeah, and Wes, to add, I've got something. The most important thing of an exhibition is the unexpected meeting. We call that serendipity. It's something that is very different to or not to do online. So that is the conversation you have maybe with someone you meet at the entrance or at the bar of the hotel, which will bring your business further. So, or it's the unexpected product. So, or it's an answer to a question you didn't know you had. So that's, I think, the biggest value of the face-to-face events.
You know, I like the way you put that. The answer to the question you didn't know you had.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Or the product you didn't know that you were looking for. Because if you look for innovations online, you always look for what you know, but you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah, very, very, very well said. Well, what has been the interest in the 2023 shows? And then how do you look ahead to 24 and 25 at this point, either of you?
Let's start with China. We did our last Aquatech China show in June, which was, of course, our first China show after 4 years of pandemic. And I think we saw a lot of interest in doing business again over there, and we didn't saw it yet in the exhibitors from international, but we did see it from international visitors. We had a record amount of international visitors attending our show in China, so it bounced back quickly. And our last Aquatech Mexico show was our biggest show ever, so there is a very good appetite for coming back, for doing business outside of your own country, learning new opportunities for your business. So it was surprisingly coming back so fast, faster than we had expected.
We have good perspective on visitors. We started the campaign and that took off very, very well. So we're we're very keen on seeing a lot of people in Amsterdam in November. And I think we have a good program and good partnerships on the way, like with WQA on the clear water world and other partnerships on other subjects, which will contribute greatly to a very good show and to a very attractive show for exhibitors as well as for visitors. So we are having a very good outlook for November, yes.
Great. Let me stay with you, Martijn, on that. And how does WQA and its members benefit from our relationship with Aquatech?
Well, there's a long relationship, so that's already a good sign, I think. And furthermore, we have a focus on clear water, which is one of the topics WQA is also very keen on, like the water quality. And it's one of the main topics our visitors are looking for. So that's a for the partnership between WQA and Aquatech. It's a very good subject to address together. You have also the stage where you can showcase your expertise on clean water and also on everything that's going on that part. So also the knowledge part and the expertise of WQA is getting a very good stage on presenting themselves at Amsterdam.
Now, let's talk a little bit about the change in the show dates starting in 2025. I know some people have heard about this, but maybe not too many. And that might be interesting to our audience because of the fact that the seasonality of this, that's all for Amsterdam I'm talking about. We've traditionally seen that show in November. every other year on the odd year, and now it's going to happen in 2025. Can you tell us that, Martijn?
Yes, we talked with the market, associations, exhibitors, visitors, and we saw some growth opportunities, as well as in the count of exhibitors as well on the visitor part. But therefore, we had to address some problems in specific countries. We understood there were problems with the November time frame because of some religious holidays, which were in the way. Well, if we want to grow, we need those countries from exhibitor side as well as from visitor side. So that's an important part of that. And then we looked to the calendar and we saw that in the March there was space in the international calendar, so less or no competition in specific water-related events like Aquatech is. So several things came together, and that's why after a long talks with like WQA, but also other associations and market parties, we decided to change to the March timeframe.
And you sort of touched on this in terms of what the benefits will be, and that is you hope that this will be more attractive. But what other anything else that you hope will change as a result of the change in going to this March timeframe?
Well, like I said, we're seeing opportunities for growth, and that's important because in the water sector there's a whole lot of things going on, and that's what we want to address in Aquatech. And in the current time frame, we can't pick up all the opportunities we see and address them like we would like to do. So that's one of the main reasons, and if that is going to be supported by, exhibitors and visitors, like the countries we're talking about, then that would be great. And that would be, the plus and the plus we were looking for.
Yeah, and we heard also back from some of our US customers that being further away from Thanksgiving is better for them. They always saw it as sometimes too close. And for innovation and budget-wise, they would have preferred time slots early in the year as well. So there were many reasons why we thought that this would be the best move for Aquatech. We outgrown our halls for this year, so we're back on the same track as 2019. And there were also some other exhibitions in the RAI venue, which were in November, which made it impossible for us to grow. This year we have a back-to-back scenario with METS, because we thought that would be the long-term ideal solution, that we could stay in this time slot without having to deal with all the public holidays that are around in Europe and some other parts of the world. However, that is not a solution due to all the shortage of work people. There have been a lot of stand construction companies who didn't survive the COVID pandemic. So being back to back with another large show wasn't a long-term solution. We're doing this only this year, so that's why Aquatech is now from Monday to Thursday. So on the long-term growth, the long-term opportunities for the market, we had to move.
I see. And then Martijn, just again back to this year's show, 2023, November 6 through 9. Tell us about anything in particular that you'd like to highlight as far as the show itself.
Well, I mentioned just before the Clear Water World we're doing together with WQA, which is one of the important showcases where we put partners together, where we have a lot of content which is important for our visitors. We have several worlds more, like industrial water world, like wastewater, water treatment world, digital world, also circular economy. So there are a lot of things going on at the exhibition floor, content-wise and meeting-wise for visitors and exhibitors. Also, we have the Innovation Forum on Monday, which addresses all the innovations we can find and see and present in the water sector. So that's also very good for visitors to get by. Well, and then we have a lot of exhibitors with new products, new services. So I think we have a nice mix of content, meeting spaces, and exhibitors with good products and services to make Aquatech the real water tech show in the world.
And WQA will have our pavilion. We obviously invite our members to be part of that. So if you're listening to this and you're getting excited about being part of that show, you just come on with WQA and we've got you covered.
Yeah.
Yeah, and can I add to that? I think WQA is a key player in the world who knows a lot about PFAS, which is one of the most important topics or dangers in the water quality in this world. So it's great to be a partner with WQA and to be able to address this huge topic also in Amsterdam.
Great. And speaking of topics and trends and things like that, Annette, can you give me your sense of where things are going in the water sector, the water space, water treatment over the next 5 to 10 years?
I think water hasn't been as a hot topic as it is today. I think you see it everywhere in the world. There is so much challenges around water, too much water, too little water, too dirty water, all these contaminations. So I think water will play a bigger role worldwide. Water treatment will be, I think, more on the public awareness. We will drive investments into a better water or cleaner water for everyone. So I see a very positive outlook. I think point of entry will grow in importance worldwide because it's not possible to get all the contaminations out at a central water utility. And I think everyone sees the limitations in some of the treatments process we currently have. And next to that, climate change will make it even more challenges. So I think lots of solutions will go towards mitigations, resilient water systems, and safe water supply. So I see two sides, a positive outlook for our industry, commercial-wise, and for the world. Maybe I am happy to be on the water side where I know that there are so many people driving innovation towards the water industry because the world is going to need it. So that's my opinion.
Excellent. Well, I want to thank you both for being on the program and helping give us a little bit more information about Aquatech and the shows and our relationship that we have, WQA and Aquatech. So thank you to Annette and to Martijn, and great to have you on the program.
Thanks, Wes.
Thank you, Wes. Well,
see you in Amsterdam.
See you in Amsterdam.
Thank you.